Welcome to a Fortnight on the Isle. I'm your host, King Crusoe. You can call me KC, and this weekend I just about forgot to make this video entirely. I swear it's like pretty much last minute, effectively as last minute as it could possibly be without interfering with some other things that I need to get done today. Ahead of the video coming out, at the time that I'm recording this, tomorrow. Normally I am very aware of these things coming up, way ahead of time. This week I was not. I just realized accidentally, in fact, while editing another video, that this video was this weekend and not next weekend. So we're talking about the things that happened the last couple of weeks, just as we normally do. Feels like I got nothing done. I've mostly been spending the last couple of weeks relaxing, admittedly, just kind of doing nothing, especially on the weekends, because I spent a couple weeks before that doing altogether way too much. And I'm going to be very busy over the next couple of months for multiple reasons. So, I felt like it was good to take a little mini vacation, not really vacation, more just a staycation, I guess, just not really doing much work. So, that's the way things go. For now, let's go ahead and talk about the bi-weekly reading this fortnight. So what have I been reading? Not very much, in fact. Over the last couple weeks, the main thing that I accomplished was I finished reading Charles Dickens's A Tale of Two Cities. I don't remember what I said about this, apparently, since I had started it prior to the previous fortnight on the Isle. If I had said anything, it would have been that I was surprised by how quickly it was going, how early on, and that I was rather engaged with it, despite the fact that, it was still setting up a lot of stuff. And having finished it, that's basically how I feel. Like, it went a lot quicker than I expected. It set up a lot of stuff. It took a long time to set up everything that it did, but it was solid. It's one that I feel like I need to reread at some point in the future, because I just don't think I got everything out of it on this first reading that I feel like I should have. And I don't know precisely the reasons for that, but I will definitely be rereading A Tale of Two Cities at some point in the future, because it was very good, but I'm sure I'll enjoy it even more the next time. The only other thing that I've been reading as far as novels go the last couple weeks has been an impromptu reread of Empire of Silence by Christopher Ruocchio. So there are some personal motivations that have led me to reread this book again, since I already reread it in 2023, having read it the first time in 2022. So that's a lot for somebody like me. I don't typically reread books that quickly, but I have gotten a decent amount of the way in already. I'm not quite through the Delos arc. I believe I'm about 2/3 of the way through the Delos arc at the beginning of the book, and I predict that I'll probably be finished with the Delos arc here by the end of March, basically, is where I'll be at. But I hope to get through this reread pretty quickly. It's not least because it's actually heavily affected part of my other reading plans that I had initially had, but I felt like I needed to prioritize this, again, for some personal motivations, but I don't need to get into all of that for now. So that's where I'm at with my reading. That's basically all I've done. I did say last time around, however, that I would talk about a few short stories that I've been reading pretty recently, but again, I'm going to withhold or hold off on talking about those for another fortnight, because the timing will be more appropriate the next time around. So yeah, that's basically all the reading that I have to talk about this week. So as far as things that are going to be releasing on either of my two channels over the coming fortnight, there's quite a few videos to talk about. We'll start off with Tuesday's video being episode 231 of the Book Binge, doing my regular monthly reading wrap-up and TBR video, wrapping up March, looking ahead to April, explaining a couple of the things that are going on with that. In that video, I actually talk briefly about some of the short stories that I'm withholding from this video. In fact, I actually just come to remember, but that's okay. I'm not going to go back and re-record that section. But yeah, that video will be coming out on Tuesday just as normal. This Thursday will be my March book haul video, probably my last monthly book haul for the foreseeable future. I'm going to go back once again to doing quarterly book hauls for a little while, because I'm not really buying as much either in any form of digital medium, but especially not ebooks, because of some of the stuff that Amazon's been doing. I just been, using that as motivation to save money on ebooks, not really spend as much and not grab as many random things for my Kindle all the time, and instead like actually, you know, budget towards physical books the way that I had intended doing before I got the Kindle a year ago. So that video is going to be coming out on Thursday before I switch back over to doing quarterly haul videos. Scheduled right now for Friday on the 4th to be the April State of Affairs video, so just kind of updating everything on the channel as a whole, talk about what's actually going on in a little bit more of a broad scale. That'll be coming out on Friday. Next Sunday on the 6th will be a review of Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, so a book that I read quite a while ago and I'm finally catching up on doing the review. I have several reviews of that sort coming out over the next couple of months. On next Thursday, on the 8th, will be my review of Red Rabbit by Alex Grecian. In comparison, a book that I finished quite recently. I'm looking forward to you guys being able to see both of those reviews. Actually, that's a lie. Sorry. Not next Thursday on the 8th. Next Tuesday on the 8th. I misspoke there, because next Thursday will be episode 1 of the Wheel of Time Diaries regarding the Path of Daggers, book 8 in the Wheel of Time. So that's basically the video schedule that I've got going on for the next little while, at least insofar as the main channel is concerned. On the second channel, I will say that last week's Music Mania video came out on Wednesday instead of Monday. That was a change that, you know, was motivated by the fact that I was just not really doing anything last weekend. I took some time off from making any videos or anything, so that delayed that video, and also caused for the other video that I had originally planned to come out last week to be delayed initially, but which I ultimately ended up canceling anyway, which was going to be a movie review for Mickey 17. I just decided to scrap that video entirely because, having read through the script, the review that I wrote for it on Letterboxd, just it wasn't structured or really put together in any way that would make for a good video, especially not for a scripted review. If I were to talk about all those things in that sort of manner in a, you know, just a face cam video or something like that, it would make a little bit more sense and work a little bit better, and as far as the sort of vibe and the tone, went. But for a scripted video, it just didn't make sense. It didn't work. I was not very happy with it, and I was not going to rewrite the entire review just to be able to make a video for it on the second channel. So I decided to just scrap that video entirely. But for the next 2 weeks, I do have just regular Music Mania and Let's Play videos coming out on the second channel. Monday, tomorrow on the 31st, will be episode 13 of Music Mania. Next Monday will be episode 14. Episode 13, we'll be talking about like the new Arch Enemy that came out. I talked about the new Cradle of Filth, new Memphis May Fire. There's an EP in there that I'm forgetting about as well that I talk about in that video quite notably. Next week's video, I actually have no idea any of the things that might be appearing in that, because I haven't had time to look. Like I said, I'm kind of recording this last second. But this Saturday and next Saturday, so on the 4th and the 11th respectively, are going to be the episodes 5 and 6 of the Remnant 2 Let's Play. Episode 5 will be in the Labyrinth, and episode 6 will be entering Yesha, the second main world that Josh and I experienced in our co-op Let's Play. But that is everything that I have coming out over the next couple weeks. Let's talk about the writing, in which, once again, getting it out of the way, I just have not had time to really work on fiction stuff, and that's probably going to be the case for the next couple months, just not really having time to circle back around to it, because I'm working on a whole lot of other things in the meantime, not necessarily of my own projects, but projects that I'm doing for other people at the same time. So there's a lot of stuff that I've been busy with. But in terms of the reviews and blogs, I did actually finally get a good bit of stuff done in this regard, compared to like last time, where there were a lot that I just had fallen behind on, a lot of book reviews that I hadn't written that I needed to get written. I got all that stuff written this time around. So 6,050 words for book reviews, 1,200 of which were for Monster Volume 9 after, what, like, well over a month at this point. I think like a month and a half, maybe even 2 months. I forget exactly when it was that I actually finished reading that volume. It's been a long time. I finally circled back around to review that. I reviewed Red Rabbit, 650 words for that. I reviewed A Crown of Swords, 1,250 words for that. Mickey 7, the book, I spent about 1,750 words writing, which is a little bit of a surprise. And then A Tale of Two Cities, I also wrote about 1,200 words. It's funny, I say that 1,200 to 1,300 words is usually my average for book reviews on Goodreads, and yeah, 3 of my reviews this week kind of proved that. I had hoped to actually circle back around and start working on the Infinite Jest review. Long time coming that one has been, and like actually circle back around to that again, and I unfortunately didn't get the chance to do that because of a couple projects that were landed on my lap at work this week. So that didn't happen, but I did get caught up on everything else. So I guess I'll be somewhat happy about that. For music reviews, I'm pretty sure I wrote 3,800 words on that. It might be a little bit more. I forget off the top of my head. I haven't had time to actually like go through and double check all of the reviews and, you know, count that all up because I'm recording this pretty much last minute. So that number might be a bit off, but I'm pretty sure it's 3,800 reviews for 13 reviews on albums and EPs. So that's what I got done over the last couple of weeks. I've had, you know, a lot of time to work on that kind of stuff. Game reviews, still haven't gotten anything written for any of those. Again, those I was actually planning to kind of circle back around to and start getting things written for a few of those this week as well when I finished writing all the book reviews that I needed to catch up on. But a similar situation of stuff fell on my lap and I didn't quite get the chance to do that, which is unfortunate, but not too bad. And then film reviews, kind of as I talked about with the Mickey 17 book or movie review that I wanted to put on the second channel. I wrote 2,500 words for that review over on Letterboxd and was going to make it into a video, but then I scrapped the video version. But the version on Letterboxd still exists. It's a pretty bad review as it turns out, like a really, really bad review. But, you know, it's not like I necessarily wanted it to be a good review. But that is everything that I've been able to work on writing-wise the last couple of weeks. Let's talk about a little bit of entertainment talk. There's not a whole lot to actually put out there this time around. In the gaming sphere, I spent about 6 hours playing Power Wash Simulator again. It's been pretty close to a year and a half, I believe, since I actually played this game last, when I had 100%ed everything that was available at that time, which was everything up until like the SpongeBob, you know, paid DLC, and everything after that I haven't touched. I haven't touched the game since then until this past fortnight, so I played like 6 hours of that while watching some March Madness stuff on the side last weekend, and this weekend as well I've been doing that. Now that the sequel of the game, Power Wash 2, has been announced, so I kind of presume that major updates for the first game are pretty much done, and that's the reason why I haven't really touched it, is because I don't want to be logging in every couple months just to put, you know, 10 or 15 hours into it and then be done until another thing is released. So I've been going back and starting to do all the bonus DLC stuff from the past 18 months that I haven't been caught up on, and, you know, it's relaxing. It's nice being able to just watch stuff on the second monitor and just power wash things in a video game. So that's what I've been doing the last couple weeks there. As far as like film stuff is concerned, it's not technically film, it's the March Madness thing, you know, more basketball, watching a whole lot of that the last couple of weeks. You know, the first couple rounds, first round and second round, actually went pretty good. Many of those games went great and more or less how I was expecting and wanting them to, and that was really fun. I always have fun watching March Madness stuff, and I'd be an absolute junkie full-time watching basketball like all of the time if I didn't restrain myself. So I allow myself these just 2 to 3 weekends here at the end of March and early April to like just, you know, no life the hell out of just watching a bunch of basketball, because like I said, I'd be a junkie if I didn't constrain myself to just this one time of year to be able to do it. So that's what I've been doing the last couple weeks. Part of what's motivated my doing nothing the last couple weekends and just taking time off from working has been because, you know, the first and second round games take all day for 4 days in a row. So that has definitely motivated some of where my priorities have been this so far in March, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. The Sweet 16 games, I gotta say, this weekend have not been going as well. I've not been as happy with those ones. We'll see about how I feel in the Elite 8 games later today, because today's Saturday, and those games will be starting pretty soon, or at least the first of those 2 games today will be starting pretty soon. I gotta get this video done and edited, so I guess that means I'm done here, and the video's coming to a close. Thank you for watching this. If you did, I'm sorry for it being a little bit more scrambled and messy in probably all regards. I apologize for that, but again, I completely forgot that this video was supposed to be coming out this weekend instead of next weekend, so it has been a scramble indeed. But thank you once again for watching. For now, I have been your host, King Crusoe. You can call me KC, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.